What's up? It is 8 o'clock in the morning. Good to see you. 8 Eastern. It's your friend James Shaw. Happy Friday. Thank you to everyone who's chosen to be here with us today as we wrap up another week inside of Pivot Shift Ahead. I'm thankful for you. Hey, quick announcement and reminder. Everybody look in the camera. Look in the camera and pay attention. New link starting Monday. Everyone has to register for the call again starting Monday morning. How do I do that? Same way you did to get on this one. JamesDShaw.com. You go to jamesdshaw.com. You click join our free daily call. You'll do this Monday morning. And when you do it, you'll put in your email address and everything. James, it won't take my email address. Your email address has to be the same one you use for your Zoom account. We authenticate everybody that's on the call. We make sure it's an actual real live person. And so you want to go to jamesdshaw.com, click join our free daily call. You'll sign up, and that link then is the one you'll use every day through the first-ish of October. So we'll see you Monday morning on a brand new link. We are putting a wrap on this week's calls about marketing and managing the listing. And we started it yesterday, or yesterday's conversation was about that price reduction. And there were a lot of hands up and we didn't get to it. And I think this is an area that you struggle with the most. So we're going to put a big bow on this week by wrapping up our conversation around that price reduction or maybe other changes, coaching your seller through other changes they need to make based on feedback from the market. That's what we're going to talk about today. But before we do that, something good. Terry, good morning.
This 100% goes with what we're talking about with pricing. On Monday, I had a closing for the house that I thought my people were going to have to pay in to their mortgage company because it was a mess. It ended up being a house where they had a business from the house, and the business was, well, it just turned legal recently, if you know what I mean. So it was kind of a mess. It was totally trashed. We had a village, cleaned it up, put it ridiculously low pricing. We had 51 people at the open house. 8 offers went over listing price by about $58,000.
Let's go.
Crazy. And then the second one, I literally just came under contract. We started out 10% over what it should have been. We chased the market sadly, but we got it down to where it needed to be. And I coached them using what I've learned here so that they understood it was the market. It was
Mhm.
like classic of what we've been talking about.
I'm so glad that when people take what we talk about on these calls, you're also an Inspire member, so you're using what we're talking about in the Inspire Collective.
Oh,
You can go put them in your business. It's the reminder. First of all, number one, this is the best free resource in the industry, period. Best free
yep.
resource in the industry. All you have to do is get on, take one note a week, and implement one thing a week, and you're in good shape. Number two, Inspires the best ROI for an agent in the industry. I believe that to be true. I really do. And you're a member of both things. You're on the freebie and you're on the paid, and you're implementing and it's working, and you're getting cash money records. Let's go. Mary Ellen, good morning.
Good morning, James. So, two things. I'm leaving for Ireland tomorrow for a vacation adventure. Very excited about that. And then talking about pricing, I had a property that went under contract. We were priced right, the only one in the neighborhood for the last 6 months. So it took 6 months to sell. There's still 15 on the market in the neighborhood. And we priced it right and got it under contract after being under contract 4 different times with wishy-washy buyers.
There you go. Get it done. Have a great trip.
Thank
You're
you.
going to go to Guinness?
Of course,
I've
of
heard that
course.
Guinness there is unlike Guinness here. Have a great time, Mary Ellen.
Thank you.
Last one, Kathy Heidi.
Hey, good morning, friends. Hello from Miami. Mary Ellen, you are my inspiration. So I have 2 things quickly. First, the business I talked about a month ago, and because of the things that we're learning and implementing on the Inspire call, which Donna Gilbert will tell you you should join. All the things I've had, they're starting to close. It's like closing, closing, closing. And it's a pretty great feeling because the process has been very slow, and being patient wins. And the personal thing, I would never do this. Some of you may know that I follow the WNBA very closely, and I implement that in my business because I watch what these ladies are doing, and it inspires me to do just a little bit. If they can do that, and some of these plays, they look like, I would be in the emergency room. So my team is Minnesota, and I'm flying just for a day and a half to spend time with my best friend. And I would never do that without this call. And I'm flying the James Shaw way. I'm flying in the 2B, and it's for a day and a half, and I'm just and it's certainly not a bragging thing. I feel weird about saying this, but it's something that I wouldn't do if I didn't have people like Mary Ellen going on vacations. I have the money. Why not do something like that? Because now my team is in something called the Commissioner's Cup. And I am just thrilled to be doing something like that and continuing my 60th birthday with my best friend, who's also turning 60 in July.
It's so good. Have a great time. I think the W is maybe the most competitive sports league on the planet. There's only 144 players in the
Right.
entire league. It's so competitive. It's so fun to watch. We watched the Fever blow another one last night, which you and I texted about. It's just what a competitive league, and I love that you're going to go watch. And I hope Caitlin doesn't play because she needs to rest. All right, let's get after it today. So we've got lots to do, and that is making sure that when you take the listing, you manage it and market it effectively. And we talked a lot about price reductions yesterday. And I think we should talk more about that. If you've got a price reduction strategy, I want you to share it. But there's other strategies and things that we coach them through too as we market and manage. Are you making adjustments to different staging items as they come in? Or what other strategies do you use during the listing to help get it under contract? And I know, Lee, you and I texted yesterday about something you and Paul do around a strategy. So I want to invite you to share it because it's one thing that can help get that listing under contract, right, Lee?
Yes, good morning. We talked about, and I know we've talked about this on Early Birds too, and Stephen Gundel has shared this with us a lot. It's called the reverse offer system. And before you have the price reduction, you do a reverse offer. And what that entails is everybody that has seen the house, whether it be an open house or private showings, you go back to every single agent that represents the buyer or the buyer directly if they're not represented, and you reverse the offer. You send them an offer from your seller at a different price. So they saw it at $675, and now we're going to send an offer at $650 to them. And you give them the terms and you get responses. And one of three things can happen. One, somebody accepts the offer, or two, people want to accept the offer, or number two, someone, no response, or number three, someone counters the offer. So it's a way of getting information back from buyers that have seen the property, and you bring that back to your seller and show them what has happened. And every time we've done the reverse offer, we end up getting the house sold within a week or two. I don't know how it works, but it just works.
It's also a guaranteed price reduction because if you're writing a reverse offer, you're writing it for less than the list price. So now you already have the seller in agreement on a certain price and you're sending it out. And then if it's not accepted, then you can have this conversation about lowering the price to that. So it's really, really good. Lee, did I hear you though say you're sending out more than one at a time?
Yes, they're going to everybody.
Oh, that's interesting.
Everybody, because
Okay,
you
so
might end
that-
up in a multiple offer.
Well, just real quick, that is a concern of me. So help me understand how you're doing it, because my concern would be if we send it out to multiple people and two people agree, now I've sold the house twice. So I'm concerned about that part. So help me understand your process so that we don't get caught in that situation.
So they have to respond to we send the offer and they have to respond and let us know, if they are
It's not
going
on a
to.
purchase agreement.
No,
Got it.
no. I'm sorry. It's a
Yeah.
letter. And I can share the letter with you. It's a letter that says these are the terms.
Okay, I
Please.
got it now. So I don't want
Got it?
someone to be confused and think they're filling out an OTP
No,
and
no,
they're
no,
and they're putting it all in. Because
no.
you could do that too if you wanted. You
Yeah,
could
but
fill out
then,
the entire offer to purchase, but you would only send that to one person, not
right,
multiple. So
right.
you're doing the letter. Will you give us the letter? Inspire members will upload it in the portal for you so you have access to it because Lee's willing to share the letter and we'll again upload it in the portal. But I wanted clarity because someone, Lee,
I
is going
know.
to put it on an offer to
Yeah, do
purchase for
not
3
put it
people.
on an offer to
Yeah,
purchase. Do
there you
not
go.
do that. No, 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 no.
Thank you, Lee Corey. You're the best. Appreciate you. Melanie Williams, good morning.
Sorry, mute button. Good morning. So I have a condo listing in beautiful Chevy Chase, Maryland, which is in a beautiful neighborhood of Chevy Chase, in a building in which no condos are selling. So this Sunday, and everybody please pray for us. All of the agents who have listings for sale in that building, we've gotten together and we're going to have like a building open house. And that is what we are doing to try to, you know, jiggle some interest or offers on properties there.
You gonna have a food truck in the parking lot?
You know what? The building will not allow that.
No.
It is Chevy Chase, Maryland.
Oh, Chevy Chase,
We
Maryland.
cannot bring down the neighborhood.
I've heard he's a jerk, and now I think the town's a jerk. I mean, come on, let's get this figured out. Melanie, I love that. I think one thing we have to look at too for your condo specifically, and this is where we talk about, and Shift, Gary talks about it too, that pricing is a strategy. It's about strategy, not about value. Melanie, just out of curiosity, do you know about roughly how many units are on the market in this condo building?
6.
6. How many are selling a month?
Well, nothing has sold. We've all been on the market since we've listed. So, I'm at, I think, 120 days.
So
Everybody,
there hasn't been a sale in there for
the year.
3, 4 all year.
Well, I'm sorry. One sold before I listed, and that was my CMA and my pricing strategy initially.
Uh-huh.
And nothing has sold
And
since.
when was that closing?
That closing was in February.
Okay.
So we listed in March, and we've dropped our price twice.
All right. So you have 12 years worth of inventory in that condo. And the conversation we have with the seller needs to be there's one that sells every 6 months. And so we've got to be, well, in the February one, do you know when the one was before that?
I'm not looking at my data, but it was like 6 months before that. So you're
See,
about
there you go. So you've got an infinite supply of inventory. The next condo to sell is going to be which one, Melanie?
mine.
Which is priced where?
Hi.
Yeah, that's so not yours. Right. I think that again, I love that you're doing the all day open house. And what I'm teaching is now you can use the feedback from the all building open house to go back to the seller and go, everybody's was open. And hopefully something goes under contract and hopefully it's yours. But if it's not, then we have to use that to go back to the seller and say, here's what the market told us. So Melanie, I love it. Thinking, let's get it done. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Keep us posted.
Thank you.
Donna Gilbert, you're next. Good morning.
Good morning. And this feeds in perfectly to what I wanted to share yesterday, and I'm finally sharing it today. So when you're actually at the table doing the listing agreement and you've gone through all your fancy pricing and you've shown all the stuff and you've talked about, oh, if we don't get this, we'll have to reduce by this and all of that stuff, please add the fact that everything we've done so far, Mr. Seller, is a beta test. It is our best guesstimate right now of what the facts are. The moment we go on the market, we actually begin to get real feedback and data. We're going to marry that with what we know in the facts from prior, and then we're going to put it with the real market data. Then we'll actually know where the price is going to be. Do you see, we're setting them up from the beginning that the price we're getting right now is our best guesstimate, but that is all it is. Based on real facts, it's the best guesstimate. The moment we hit the market, we'll get real life information. We have to listen to that. It's a beta test.
All right, write down what Donna Gilbert just said. And then Donna, what happens is a week later, if you've had no activity,
Right.
then this is the line I gave you yesterday. And I hope you all wrote it down because I think it's a really good line and I want you to use it. And here's the line when you have to go back to the seller and have a conversation about price. The line is this. And it works really well if you use Donna's strategy on the front end, which was we're going to test it. This is what we believe is going to happen and the market's going to tell us. And if a week later, nothing's happened, here's what you say. We haven't had the response that we were expecting. The market is giving us its feedback through its silence. So now, and it's nobody's wrong. It's just that we didn't get the response that we expected. The market is telling us through its silence. What do we want to do? Yeah, the market is speaking to us, right, Orly? Thank you. Authorine, good morning.
Good morning, James. So I want to give a little bit more clarity around the reverse offer, because there's been a lot of questions in the chat. And so the way we ran that play back in 2008, when it was strictly buyer's market, what we would do is we would focus on the agents with clients who kept coming back. So if they came back
Right.
2 times or 3 times, then we would call the agent, make sure that buyer is still looking, and then we would write a full offer with the seller signing it and sending it over.
Right.
That way it's going to one person, and if they accept, then we're not worried about, okay, we've sold this house twice. So that's how we ran that play back in the day.
Yeah,
And
you
you
have
can
two ways you
certainly
can
send
run.
it.
Go ahead, Authorine. I'm sorry.
You can certainly send it to multiple people, but we would do that in an email, not on the purchase and sale
Right.
form. But for
Yeah.
one person, we would do it on a purchase and sale.
Yes, I agree with all that. I think Lee's strategy works on offer letter, right, to send to multiple people. That's fine. That's great. Another strategy is to actually fill out the offer to purchase and send it to that one buyer who came in a couple of times. And what you're listening for is the person, the agent who tells you, yeah, it's in their top 2 or it's in their top 3, and you want to get some action going on it, then yes, you could review with your broker, but you could fill out an offer to purchase that's signed and ready and sent over to them. And all the buyer has to do is sign it if they're agreeable, and boom, you're under contract. 100%. You could do that. If you want to send it to multiple people, you do the letter, like Lee said. That works too. Both strategies would work. Thank you. Kathleen?
So I went to an event and it was kind of an aha. When you get a low offer and the sellers adamantly reject the low offer, that is your in for the conversation of a price reduction.
Yes.
And at the same time, it's the words you say and what to say and letting them absorb and embrace the fact that the consumer, the market's telling you what the value of the house is. And the buyer's going to base it on what the market's willing to bear. And I love the line, it's my job to tell you the truth, and you do want me to tell you the truth, right? The days of the
Diana
market is
Kokoska.
the enemy to selling the house. So but the good flip is, hey, when you go to Florida and you're ready to go make offers in Florida, are you gonna look at the days on the market and they're gonna say, yeah. Okay, so is that gonna affect the price that you're gonna offer? And just bring them back, like use that as an example. Now you're going to go buy a house. What's your mindset going to be? And they're going to realize themselves, self-realization. Oh, I get it.
Good. We had good calls this week. We had really, really good calls about marketing and managing the listing. And I'm sorry we're not going to get to everybody. Next week is a couple of things. We have 3 days next week is it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. New link. Everyone has to re-register. Brand new link, jamesdshaw.com. Join our free daily call. And we only have 3 days. And we're going to talk about contract to close, right? Once you get it under contract, you've got to make sure it closes. So keeping the deal together, because the data I saw the other day was like 15+% of your deals are falling apart. Is that happening to y'all? Put it in the chat. Are you having deals fall apart? It's a huge number. So contract to close. And if you aren't having deals fall apart, then you need to teach us how you're getting that done. And then we'll talk about, too, leveraging your listings sold to get more listings. Because you've just proven that you can sell listings in today's market that's really tough and inventory is up. So how do you get more of them? So we'll do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, off Thursday and Friday. Brand new link. So don't come back to this one. You'll need to re-register on Monday morning. Thank you for being here. You got your inspiration. Go put in the perspiration. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, James.